A couple things to look at now from other emerging trends. And some of these have been pretty controversial, but I think it's really important that we all keep an eye on them. One of the things, and one of the kind of new classifications of homes that we've been looking at are homes that have broadband but don't pay for any television service. So they don't pay for cable TV, they're over the air only or some other type of access, but they do pay for high-speed internet. And one of the things we see in these homes is clearly there's some substitution going on. So the one, it's again, very small percentage of homes, less than 5% of all the TV homes that we have in our panel, but they watch half as much, less than half as much television, and they stream more than twice as much. So this is, again, the reason we point this out is when we first started looking at this exact data, what we found was anybody that's a heavy consumer, is a heavy consumer across. This is an interesting kind of breakout and a trend that we're watching, and to see also how big that, how much that 5% changes over time. The implication, and one of the things that we've been looking at is as we look at this data, and we've figured out a number of ways that I think really illustrate what the trends are, and ways you can take a quick snapshot and really understand what the relationships are. But the relationship of TV viewing to streaming has really changed over time. I talked about kind of the relationship of the heavy consumer, the heavy media consumer. And what we saw when we initially started really analyzing this is a heavy TV viewer is a heavy internet user, is a heavy streamer. And what we've seen over time is a little bit of a migration, and to the point where we've had a year of consistent quarter-over-quarter behavior where we see the heaviest streamers are the lightest TV viewers. So that's one set of people. And looking at it at the other way, at the lightest TV viewers are the heaviest streamers. So that's a really, I won't go through all of this detail, but this is how we look at the data. We break it down in heavy to light users of a certain behavior. In this case, it's streaming. And you can see, even though the streaming amount is a lot less than the TV amount, they're also, the lightest TV users versus the heaviest streamers. So conversely, same situation, but on the TV side, the lightest TV viewers consume the most streaming. So this is a trend that we're really watching and trying to understand over time, because clearly it's one that's emerging more and more, particularly among 18 to 24-year-olds. So just to kind of summarize this, as we look at this and we trend this, the heaviest streamers, the other thing that we're really trying to understand is in non-television homes, what are they? So right now, obviously we focus on TV homes. In this particular panel, we want to expand it to homes that don't necessarily have TVs. So the other thing I wanted to kind of hit on is business models as we talk about this. And there's been a lot of press lately about some of the new tools in the industry. And what I've been working with a number of you and a number of our television clients and also our advertising clients is how do people put these pieces together across platforms. And there was basically two things that were in place over the past really 2 years. One is completely separate business models where the digital world sells to the digital world and the TV world sells to the TV world. And then we introduced and worked with a number of clients on this concept of extended screen, of putting the exact same content on TV and having it credited, or online and having it credited in the TV ratings. But for a number of reasons that is challenging. And one of the most basic ones is commercial loads, creatives, a lot of different things are different. And you've heard a lot of press lately about online campaign ratings and that type of concept. But what excites me is the concept of cross-platform campaign ratings, of being able to tie completely dissimilar commercial schedules together on the atomic level at the commercial side. So a lot more to come on this. I think there's going to be a lot more discussion, but I also think it's a big opportunity for the whole industry to be able to think about delivering advertising across these platforms and really tying it together with a common GRP metric. So a lot more to come on that. So the key points, the lines between TV and digital continue to blur, I think, from a lot of different perspectives. We're seeing a lot of migration and usage of the television based on how people are learning, particularly on the younger demographics, to consume video online. and a lot more flexibility coming up in the cross-platform world as far as business models.